Finally, to finish off, I decided to face my teenage boy stereotype again. I was thinking who I should interview, and my dad suggested I interview his friend's son, David. I was so against this idea, but then I realized this is probably because of the stereotype I have. I don't really know this 14 years old, except that he's chatty and has got into fights before. Yeah, is it alright to assume that he will tease me just because of this? I was saying how I hate people putting me in a box, but then I was doing the same. So I decided to explore it and asked him anyway. Despite being a jerk in the beginning, he did agree to do it. He also invited an activist friend, Jamie, who was also 14 years old. This interview was done in text, so I will voice over them.
In your opinion, what's the reason some boys harass girls in a teasing way?
They see them as weak or something and want to tease them because they have been influenced to think that they are more powerful or dominant, which is bullshit.
I think they're bored and don't have anyone to talk to.
What's the reason behind raping and sexual harassment from men?
Horny-ass shadows who can't get girls and think they're tough even though their willies are smaller than a 5-inch club.
They feel like they're better than women and wants to exploit women for their own benefit.
What do you think men should do to help achieve gender equality?
They should make all jobs equal pay and educate children and adults on the topic.
I think women should work more. Studies show women work 36 hours in UK while men work 41.
Do you think men should become feminists too?
Yes, definitely.
I think men should support feminism and the original goals such as suffrage, equal rights, and fair treatment, but I feel like the word feminism and its meaning have shifted from the original goals into an insult or weapon. I think it turned from work with males to blaming most problem on males.
Do you think our culture treats men and women differently throughout their upbringing?
When they are young children, yes. As sexism is in place along with stereotypes of what they should like, for example, colors, like boys like blue and girls like pink.
I think our culture treats men and women differently throughout their upbringing, such as most teachers being girls or women so they relate better with girls, and in the legal rights, women receive lighter sentences compared to men.
If you have a girlfriend and she asked you to buy pets for her, will you feel ashamed? Why?
No, having a period is normal, obviously, and I don't get why other boys feel so disgusted by it. I have 2 sisters myself, and if one of them asked it, I'm happy to do it.
Will never happen.
In general, I have a positive few shifts after this. Jamie proved that not all teenage boys are awful. I guess by knowing this, it gives me the courage to communicate with people out of my comfort zone more. And on the other hand, I disagree with a few points with David here. Since I got the permission to object to his speeches, here's the reason why I don't agree with him. First, about women working less compared to men. It is a fact. Yet, beside the amount of work they did in the job, you also need to consider the unpaid work women often have to do, including childbearing and housework. They restrict a woman's time and abilities to work, so I don't think it's fair to compare the working hours like this. Second, in the speech, David mentioned that he thinks nowadays feminists blame most problem on men. I believe he's referring to radical feminists. It is often a tendency I notice online where they express a deep hatred toward men. I don't agree with them, but I understand where they're coming from. Yet, it is important to know that not all feminists are radical, and most feminists nowadays are pursuing gender equality. Third, the situation where women receive a lighter sentence compared to men does happen. The reason is something more complicated than just gender inequality, yet the root can be traced back to it. After all, I do think that no matter the gender, the prisoner should get the sentence they deserve. Although we have different opinions, I appreciate that David took the time to answer all my questions. It helped me to figure out why people have diverse views.